Well, as state and local officials work to address elevated levels of lead found in the water at some Newark schools, another city is now investigating lead found at a park. Hudson County health officials are running tests to determine the levels of lead found in paint chips at Mary Benson Park. FIOS1's Patterson has that story.
Parents and children have been locked out of Mary Benson Park in Jersey City after a concerning discovery there earlier this month.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, the kids were here playing, and we noticed they were picking things up off the floor of the park. And when we went over to inspect what it was, they had dozens of paint chips varying in size up to probably 2 to 3 inches in diameter and smaller, and they had collected them and put them in their pockets and in their buckets.
Peter Farrell says his 3-year-old daughter was one of the children who had been collecting these paint chips that appear to be falling off the Turnpike extension, which runs directly alongside the park.
There's no question that it was paint chips coming down from the work they were doing on the Turnpike. One side was green, and when you look up and see the Turnpike, it's green paint. And the other side was like a brown.
A spokesperson for the Hudson Regional Health Commission tells us an inspector has already been to this site. A preliminary test did indicate the presence of lead in the chips found inside the park.
They definitely need to do something about, especially with all the work going on.
A spokesperson for Jersey City tells us, quote, "We proactively close the park until the Turnpike Authority can remove the paint chips and any contamination from the park and implement a containment mechanism to prevent further exposure." Tara Morrissey wasn't surprised to hear that the park had been closed. She tells us she had her daughter undergo lead testing years ago when high levels of lead shut down the park in 2012.
Before they redid the park, they found lead in the ground, and I took her to get tested. She had to get a blood test to make sure that there was no problems because she plated it since she was a baby. She came back negative, thank God.
The Hudson Regional Health Commission tells us the paint chips will undergo more extensive testing, with results expected to be completed sometime next week. In Jersey City, Patterson, FIOS1 News.
Well, testing for lead in Newark water